What's going on YouTube? This is the Dark Lord Destro making another video. Just want to talk a little bit about my first commentator gig with the SFL last night. I thought I did a pretty good job. Of course, there's always room for improvement, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But yes, I had a blast. I was a little nervous. You can probably tell by my voice. I was slurring some of my words, stuttered a little bit for the most part. But thought I did a pretty good job. I say between an A and F's, I did like a C plus, and I had no issues with that. And I just know I need to improve. Something that I was thinking about before, like a week or two ago, is I was thinking about going to the local community college to see if they have a class on public speaking. And also, I want to, which I pretty much have, I won't say I have a strong grasp of the English language, but I think my vernacular needs to improve as well. I know certain words that I use, let's say when I type on Facebook or type in a letter or something like that, I will, type in, certain words and I know what they mean. If I read them, I know what they mean, but when it comes to your vernacular, your everyday language that you speak, then that's something I like to improve on, and that will definitely help me out when it comes to the broadcast during SFL because it was fun and working with Cam and whatnot and just trying to get the it's almost like dancing to where okay you see what he's going to do and then okay then he stops, I come following between. There was a couple times to where I spoke over him and vice versa, but that happens, it's an accident. And there was like maybe 4 or 5 times to where okay it was a dead silence and okay I know I'm supposed to speak but I don't really know what to say, and because nothing really happened on that play. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, what would the commentators during the NFL, what would they say? Because they speak all the time, and there's really no dead spot for the most part, especially between Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. But I was thinking about okay, and then of course I was cracking a few jokes. I made a comment about the ankles breaking, and I also made a comment about the quarterback being sacked, like King Kong Bundy gave him a belly flopped and whatnot. Those are things I'm thinking about Jesse Ventura because I remember Jesse Ventura was an ultimate heel. And so in my mind, I was thinking, okay, should I play a heel role in this? I know it's not wrestling, it's football. It's all about professionalism, and I get that. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I was like, okay, I can intertwine or mix up that professionalism along with some heel heat like Jesse Ventura would do. And if anyone who's a wrestling fan knows exactly what I mean by heel heat, because Jesse Ventura was the type that always root for the bad guy, and you kind of saw that last night a little bit because I was kind of rooting for Carolina to come back and make the game competitive. And of course, when you're commentating, you're not supposed to be biased, although in some cases we know that's true. We know that's not true, and your biases will come out on occasion just by accident. But I was kind of deliberately doing that. They kind of like once again, I'm trying to intertwine, the commentators I've always listened to back in the day between football and wrestling, kind of have a mix. So that's probably something that I will be doing later on down the road. Is mixing the commentating of football and versus the commentating of wrestling. And so what I plan on doing also in the future is kind of watching games. I'm gonna watch everyone else's commentating skills. I'm also start watching some more old games, especially between Cameron Irvine and San Antonio Corky. I want to listen to how they flow because Corky was just a natural. He jumped on and you thought he'd done it for many years, but he jumped on and did his thing. And so I want to increase in that department. Something else as well, I need to be a lot more prepared because one thing is when I'm hexing, I program the guys, but I don't really look at it for how they play. I look at it, make sure that the game works. There's no flaws, no mistakes. Do the best I can to eliminate all those things before I send the files in to Cam. And so, unfortunately, I have a job to where I have to work on Sundays because I'm in the food industry, and therefore I couldn't watch a lot of games. The only games I caught were the second half of the Tulsa, Oklahoma game, a little bit of the Sioux Falls, Houston game, and I caught a tad bit of the Dallas and San Antonio game, and that's why I'm driving. So obviously I can't watch YouTube thoroughly and then also drive on the road, especially on DC Beltway. That does not work. That's an accident waiting to happen. And so I just need to be a lot more prepared as well. One last thing, I printed the sheets off at work and I left them because I was such in a hurry to get out of there to race home. I had the sheets of both teams' roster, and I know it was a juggling act for me because I'm using my laptop and I've got the big screen on the game because I'm trying to see the game from that screen, and I want to make sure that I can see all the formations, see the personnel. But then I had to hit the Alt Tab button so I could go over to a roster. I had multiple pages open, and finally I just said, "Oh, forget it." And I'm just like, daggone it, because I didn't want to just call out, number 29 or number 56. I want to call them out by their names, or at least their last name, but I just couldn't because I was trying to flip through that, and I was like, you know what? It's my first time. People can let it slide. And it was like my third, fourth time. Then you can crucify me for it, but I want to make sure that I get it down for next time, so I'll be a lot more prepared next time. What I would do, I'll probably make sure that I'm either working an early shift at my job or just to have the day off completely, and so I want to be a lot more prepared. So like I said, from a 1 to 10 scale or from A to B, I give myself, I say, a 7, 7.5. I give myself, when it comes to grade, a C plus, somewhere on the middle. And like I said, I enjoyed myself, and Cameron has asked me to come back another time. He understands I can't do it all the time because, as you can probably hear, I got birds in the background. I've got 2 dogs and a cat. If I keep the door closed so that the birds won't come through the broadcast through a microphone, then the cat's going to scratch my door up, and I don't own this place. I'm renting it, and I can't have this cat destroying the place. So that's why I have to go to my mother's basement and commentate, because it's, she lives pretty much, it's her and my sister, and that's it. They're upstairs. I'm down in the basement. Got direct Ethernet cord connection straight to the router, to the modem, and so I have no distractions. I have a crystal clear internet connection, and there won't be any issues. And so I can't just commentate every week. So I do apologize if you expected me to commentate every week, but that's not going to happen. But to wrap it all up, I had a good time. It was great. I just need to practice some more. And that's about it. So I'll talk to you fellas later. Peace.